Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to a Mental Health Monday. We're gonna continue on with part of my favorite series, the test series. The test series is, part of their series where they give you a bunch of questions and they tell you things that you need to hear, usually with an overall arching story about something going on in the background. This one is the test reality check. Since I've recently had a reality check in my own life, I think this is a great time to play this one, especially since I've never played this one before. It also has a continue option, which is new for their series. And I'm wondering if that's supposed to be an imagination of the current character, or how he feels on the inside. But without further ado, let's get into it. Warning, this experience is not for those easily offended. This experience offers many things you may not wish to hear and simply may not be able to handle. Player's discretion is advised. This experience uses an autosave feature that will save your session periodically. If your session comes to an end abruptly for any reason, you can continue your session from the title screen. Think hard before locking in your choices and take time to analyze your answers before making a decision. If you make a mistake or decide to change your mind later, there is no going back, and your answer will be locked in for the session. This is intentional, and you've been advised. Diary of a Madman. Humanity is the only disease that can cure itself. You haphazardly place one foot in front of the other and wander aimlessly through the void. Inside of the inside. You twist and tumble and fall through twisting abyss until your essence is scattered beyond the unknown. Am I dead? The voice of reason. Well, hello there. I guess you've arrived. We should just jump right into things. So for the other tests, we talked with destiny, fate, choice. If you've been here before, you know exactly what this is. If you're new here, then behold. I'm about to ask you a fuckload of overly personal questions, and you're going to provide me with very simple answers using absolutely no context whatsoever, other than the context your mind creates for itself. Right after explanation of it, I may ask you questions that feel very similar to those previous, or perhaps they could appear to be the same question but worded in a slightly different way. Think carefully before answering each and every question. Sometimes, our minds will pick up on subtle differences that could change your answers and shed light on a new perspective. So I wonder, what's going on? I wonder if this at all relates. Well, I guess they said that it doesn't. By the end of this goal, the goal is to walk away from this experience feeling as though you've gained something. But maybe you won't. I'm not a fortune teller. I can't see the future. Either way, you're going to take away whatever you wish to take away from this experience, and that might be positive, and it may not. With that being said, I should be able to get a pretty decent understanding of you as a person, as long as you're 100% honest with all of your answers. If you lie about anything, you're only hurting yourself here, so make yourself comfortable with being uncomfortable. This is not an experience for the sensitive. This is not an experience for the deafened ears and closed minds. This is an opportunity for growth, and growth only comes from discomfort. How does it work, you might be wondering? Fucking magic, I guess. Not really, though. I'm going to tell you a bunch of shit that your mind probably already knows, but perhaps rests at the back of your consciousness, rather than the ever so useful forefront where you may access it on a regular basis. Hopefully you'll find the experience useful in some way. But if you don't, then just remember, you get what you pay for, and it doesn't appear that I'm getting paid by the hour to put up with your bullshit. I think I prefer the voice of reason over anyone else I've talked to so far. If this resonates with you, then great. And if it doesn't and you feel like your time would be better spent elsewhere, then I'm sure I'll read your annoying blog about it. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Here come the basic bitch questions to start with. We'll begin the process now. Do you believe you are living up to your full potential? No, not at all. If I'm being honest, I feel like my full potential was something that I missed a long time ago. Mostly because when I was younger, in my younger days, my teachers would give me so much praise. You know, I have that like gifted kid student burnout that is so ever present in most people. So no, I don't feel like I'm living up to my full potential. I'm sorry, Mr. Wilmore, I didn't live up to your potential. Do you feel content with where you are in your life? Do I feel content? No. I've lost too many things over the course of the last few months to feel content where I am, but I am feeling like I'm getting to the point where I am content. Are you satisfied with how you spend your free time? Actually, yes. Right now, I'm pretty satisfied. I spend my free time playing games with my friends, recording videos that I just plan to record just for the hell of it, because I actually enjoy the idea of just posting things to the greater void. And if people watch, then I'm happy. I'm happy that I can entertain even one person. Do you often reflect on your purpose? I don't know what my purpose is, so I don't think I reflect on it, but at the same time, thinking about what your purpose could be is probably reflecting on your purpose. So, yeah. Do you feel in control of your emotions? So, this is a very loaded question, if I'm being honest. So I feel like I was not in very much control over the last few months because I felt like I was just being overwhelmed by a tidal wave of my own emotions. And it was very aggressive with how I felt. And I didn't think that was actually who I was. But then as I cut more things off and I stopped letting things get to me, I felt like I was in more control. So I do feel like I'm in control now. Are you comfortable with change? No, I'm not comfortable with change. I just know that it's necessary. Do you seek approval from others more than you'd like? Oh yeah. I was seeking a lot of approval recently, and I wasn't given it, and that's what caused a lot of the mishaps. But I know it's not the best way to go about things, is seeking approval from others. Do you believe your life has meaning? Oh yeah, every life has meaning. I'm not, what is his name? I can't even remember it off the top of my head because he's so aggressive and I love it, but I hate it all at the same time. But you do serve purpose. You deserve to breathe. Are you quick to forgive yourself? No, not at all. No. I am, in my mind, the worst person 90% of the time. And I can't forgive the things that I do. But my friends forgive me for most things, so I do not worry too much about that. No, I do. I prioritize my own wants and needs a lot more recently than I did before. Are you happy with your current relationships? My current friendships? Yeah. For everything it is. For my friendships, I'm very consistent and happy with them. Relationship wise, I have actual work to make on that front. To not getting too much information, I don't feel like I am where I want to be in a partner relationship. So I guess no, because I'm not happy with everything. Do you believe in second chances? Oh yeah, yeah, you know, I believe in third chances. I believe in even the fourth chance if you were good enough to me at the first point. I just don't believe in getting back once you lose your chances. After that, it's over. Because if you were a bad person and I give you a second chance and then you blew the second chance, there is no third chance. But if you were an amazing person and I give you a third chance and that was my limit for you, you also aren't coming back, even if I know you're an amazing person. Are you afraid of being alone? Not at all. Well, actually, that's a lie. I had to think about that one for a little bit. I am actually a bit afraid of being alone, but I'm not afraid of being alone in the moment. Do you dwell on past mistakes every day, brother? Do you know how often I'm in the shower just sitting there staring, thinking, "Damn, I could have said that. Damn, why didn't I do that?" You know, those same thoughts that everybody has. That would have been a great comeback, you know, but or I should have done that better, or if I had just taken blue buff instead of red buff there, I would have won the game. You know, things like that. Should have bought crypto, should have bought XYZ, should have bought, you know. No, I do not find it easy to open up to others. This is also why I'm doing this series of Mental Health Mondays, because opening up to random strangers that I guess could become my friends, you know, we could vibe a bit, will work better for my brain overall if I just learn to open up. You think you have a healthy work-life balance? I work from home, so no. If there's no balance, I can always see anything I need to work on while I'm at home chilling. But I do get out enough from working that I feel like there is a slight balance, but there's still not that disconnect that I need. So I think the overall thing is I go see enough movies, I go vibe with my friends enough, so I do have a balance. I just feel like if I could just balance a bit better, it'd be perfect. So I guess it's healthy, it's just not perfect. Are you proud of your accomplishments? Hmm. My overall accomplishments in life, or my accomplishments in like general? Like, that's a really broad statement. My current accomplishments? Oh, yeah. I'm going to visit my friends. I'm going to go get my motorcycle. I'm having a really good time currently. And those accomplishments have already, in a sense, been made because I already put everything down for them. So I consider those accomplishments and not, you know, things, even though they're happening in the future, it's still things that I accomplished doing. I do set goals for myself regularly. It's not like really big goals. It's sometimes just the most minor goals ever of mow the lawn before the HOA gets mad at me. And that happens, you know. Or I'll do something like make sure whenever you do this, record this, or make sure that you check in on specific people that you haven't talked to in a while so that you can kind of keep them going if they're not having a bad time as well. But I think the goals are set pretty well. Do you feel like you have a clear life direction? No, not at all. But who does? If I continue on the current path I'm on, I feel like I'll have a decent life no matter what. But I don't think it's a life direction that I wanted or feel like was my destiny to go down. Do I believe in fate? I believe in the ability to see all kinds of different fates, and you don't have one set fate, but you have multiple that each choice that you have will lead you down to a different one. So yeah, I believe in fate, but not one set fate. I do value honesty above all others because honesty is something that, if you're honest with me, we can come to the table at the same level. Like, if you're not honest with me, I can't understand. And I can't interact with you in the same way that you want to be interacted with. Honesty for me is coming forward and explaining what you need at that time, not coming forward at the end, if that makes sense. You have to come forward before you stab me in the back. No. But that's why I'm doing this. To explain how I feel about things and talk about things to the world of the unknown. Are you a good listener? Apparently. I don't think so, but apparently I am. I mean, that's how I've ended up in a lot of the weird situations that I get into, is because I just listen to people talk, and when they say things that kind of like tickle that part of my brain, I ask questions about it, and it makes them more inclined to tell me more things. And next thing I know, I'm picking up people from a beach when their friends have given them substances that they didn't know were in brownies, and dealing with situations that I was like, how did I get here? No, I do not forgive easily. Forgiveness is very hard for me to give to people, because once I feel betrayed, it is really hard for me to put the same amount of trust or understanding back into that same person. I can sit there and chill with him, I can vibe with him, but that same level of trust that I once had will never be the same. And so I can't forgive easily. Eventually, if we continue the vibe and everything goes smoothly, I can maybe even go past the trust and the initial feelings that I had, and we can build something even stronger, but it will never be the same, if that makes sense. I'll always look twice at them for the specific scenarios that happen. Are you driven by fear of failure? Yes. The fear of failure itself is what drives me forward in doing everything that I do. The fear of not doing something and then having that regret is why I do what I do. Because what if I don't enjoy this thing with my friends? I'll be upset with it. What if I don't pursue whatever thing I'm pursuing? That is what drives me more. Because the failure only happens if I don't do the thing. If I suck at doing it, then I didn't technically fail, in my opinion. I just was bad at it. If a relationship doesn't work out, it's not necessarily a failure because I learned something from said relationship. I am a gambling man through and through. If I can take a risk on something, I will, because I consider that the more interesting outcome. So, if I could live a peaceful life with no excitement in it, I'd go stir crazy. I really would. I don't think I could exist in a world without excitement. I would like to always self-improve. So I think I do prioritize self-improvement, but I do not prioritize self-improvement over other people's improvement, if that makes sense. So I don't put it first. So I'm going to say no here. Am I kind to myself and my thoughts? No. But I think that's just kind of human in nature. People aren't necessarily the kindest to themselves. You are usually your own worst critic. And I think that's because I hate like almost every aspect of everything I do. But yeah, no. No one's kind to themselves from their thoughts. This you're a narcissist. Do I prefer stability over spontaneity? So, when it comes to my general life, I prefer stability. But I do like a sprinkle of spontaneousness every now and then. If I could, have a completely stable life where I don't have to worry about XYZ and I can just every now and then be spontaneous, that would be amazing. So I prefer stability over spontaneous. If I could be 100% stable from a boring job, I would take that. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't gamble it away like an idiot. But I would take the stable job over a spontaneous job. You believe everyone deserves a second chance? No, not at all. Certain people do things because they are that way. If they change, that is on them, but at that point, they are not that same person. But not everyone deserves a second chance. I do not find it easy to ask for help. I'm finding it easier nowadays to ask for help because as I've done more things, I realize that asking for help is necessary. Do you ever question your beliefs? My beliefs have already been questioned and shaken so much that it's not even really a belief system anymore. It's more of a guideline of don't be a dick. And that's all I have, really. Am I afraid of making big changes? No. I like big changes. I like when things happen differently because it's interesting. I enjoy a little bit of self-reflection, and I enjoy trying to shake up how I do my life. Do I feel a sense of community? I lost my sense of community for some time there. I really felt seen and as a group at one point, but then that was really like shaken to its core, and I no longer felt as seen. And I'm slowly gathering back that sense of community that I had just with the current people around me. So I feel it. I feel a sense of community now. No, fuck you. I will never be vulnerable in front of you. But honestly, no, I don't. Growing up how I did, I don't feel good about being vulnerable most of the time. But I don't think anyone does. And so I have to sit there and think about, wow, this vulnerability really messes with me sometimes. And like 90% of the time, I don't know what the hell I'm even talking about because I'm just kind of yapping because I'm a fucking yapper and I enjoy yapping. But I'm not comfortable with vulnerability. Do you believe you deserve happiness? Me in particular, I think I deserve a semblance of happiness, yes. But I don't think I deserve pure happiness because I don't think anyone deserves just like, well, that's a lie. I believe my mother deserves pure happiness, but sue me, alright? I don't believe many people deserve pure happiness because I think without any type of suffering or struggling or like sadness, your life doesn't really have meaning. Because if you just live nothing but happiness the whole time and there's nothing but good things that happen to you, you don't know what it's like to not have good things, so you don't really enjoy it as much. Yes, I do keep most of my thoughts private. Besides when I turn this camera on, then I just kind of speak whatever comes to my mind. But if I'm just walking out and about and not in this persona of myself, I kind of think about a lot of other things in a much more melodramatic way. And I don't outwardly express them all the time. I do not have dreams too much. If you mean physical manifestation of my dreams or whatever, but if you mean like my dreams and like what I want in life, I think about that every day, man. I talk to my friends about what our dreams and aspirations are. I talk about, taking a family right on over to DJ's house, and just nice have a house, the American dream kind of thing. Have a house that I, don't have to rent. Just that kind of dream. I don't have anything like super crazy besides, world domination and like the total annihilation of, I don't know, what am I gonna say? Nightmare Before Christmas hate. Yeah, yeah. If you hate Nightmare Before Christmas, I don't want you here. Be gone. I am not patient with myself. I feel like I have to do things now, because if I don't do them now, when will I do them? And I think that's a way for me to keep myself from getting lazy into actually doing the things I do. Because if I put it off, I will procrastinate and put it off until I can never do it again. Do I feel fulfilled in my career? My current career? Yes, actually. And if anyone that knows my current career is watching, yes, the answer is always going to be yes, because I do not need any type of backsass. It is a very fulfilling career, and I enjoy every aspect of it. Smile. I don't feel grateful every day because it's just not something that crosses my mind. Do I feel grateful when I think about it? Yes. I think about the things that I have comparatively to others, and it makes me grateful, but I am not grateful every day. My empathy for others is really lacking if I cannot put myself in their shoes. If I cannot put my own personal experiences on with their own, I cannot empathize well. So like with certain people's scenarios, I just kind of look at them and I'm like, suck it up, buttercup. But like with something that I've experienced or something that I've seen firsthand happen to people, my brain's like, oh, let me help you. Am I able to let go of past hurts? No. I can't let go of them. I can only work through them. And working through them takes a lot of time. And depending on how they hurt me and who it was, I can't just ever just let it go. I can't just forgive. I have to constantly think about that and choose to pick them over what they did. I hold myself to a high standard in retrospect to most people's standards. So apparently my standards are a bit low when it comes to other people, but I consider things that I have to do as more important than what you have to do, if that makes sense. If something's wrong, I have to fix it. You don't really necessarily have to fix it. Do you believe people can truly change? Yes, I believe people can truly change, and that changes who they are as a person. Do I believe people want to change? No, but I believe that they can truly change. I am quite happy with my level of self-discipline lately. I have consistently done everything that I've wanted to do. I work extremely hard on specific things. I'm not gonna say everything. Like, give me a break. I'm not a workhorse that just constantly plows through things, but I am more consistent with the things that I do, and I am more fluid when it comes to doing things for people. I serve purpose. I deserve to breathe. And that is something that I fully believe. I do have a purpose in life. Whether it's just to sit here and vibe, that's fine by me. But I serve purpose. Do I trust my intuition? No. My intuition isn't usually wrong, but I do not work with my intuition. I usually say, oh, I think this is a bad idea. And then I still do it. And that's the problem. You know? So I don't trust my intuition enough to follow through with it, but it's not wrong. Are you open to new perspectives? When it comes to perspectives, I actually always try to see where the other person is coming from. Anytime I'm having an argument or thinking about like any type of debate topics, I try to see what it is. So I play devil's advocate a lot. So I love seeing new perspectives from people and seeing how they themselves come about things. All right, I think we're done with these for now. It's about time to move on to questions with a bit more substance. I like his design. I know it's probably a generic RPG Maker design, but it's actually a sick design. Don't be afraid to answer honestly here. Questions are only going to get more personal and in-depth as we go down this deep, dark rabbit hole of a subconscious. Once again, inside of the inside. Let's not waste any time. Here we go. Do you feel that you're truly seen and understood by those closest to you? Now I am. I thought I was before, but now I feel like I am much more seen. Are you at peace with choices you made that changed the course of your life? No, I'm never at peace, if that makes sense. I always like to think back and think about how certain choices might have affected me differently. But I understand that those choices weren't made. And so I am, in a sense, slightly at peace. Because I'm like, I cannot make those choices anymore. Ooh, the uptick in the music is nice. Do you believe you've healed from painful experiences in your past? This kind of reminds me of like a song that Shadow the Hedgehog would have in his background. Especially like on an Egyptian level that he's on. You know, they hit it with that, I am all of me. See, right there. Okay, anyways. Do you believe you've healed from painful experiences in your past? Yes. I've healed from many painful experiences. Do you genuinely love yourself beyond your accomplishments or appearance? No. I am learning self-love, and I will continue to learn self-love, but I currently do not fully love myself. Are you willing to confront uncomfortable truths about yourself? At this point, yeah, we're in it for the long haul, buddy. It's me, you, and whatever person decides to click on this video. I do feel like I'm making a difference specifically in my portion of the world, because since I am one person, I can consistently only do what I am capable of doing. And I feel like when it comes down to it, I'm doing what I can. When you make mistakes, do you treat yourself with the same compassion you show others? No, but that's because I shouldn't have made said mistake, if that makes sense. And I understand that's not the right way of looking at it, but it's definitely the way my brain thinks about situations. It's like, oh, this was an easy to see mistake. Why did you make it? It's like whenever you study a specific thing over and over and over again, but then you make that same mistake anyways, and your brain's just like, no, stop it. That's how I feel about like every mistake I did, because I'm like, I should have seen it coming. How? I don't know. But I feel like I should have. Are you happy with the way you manage your time each day? No, but I am happy with most of it. So, I'll go yes for this because I'm quite happy. Excuse me. By the end of the day, once I deal with a lot of the things that I've done that day, I'm like, yeah, I got this done today. I got that done today. I got this recorded. Got that played. I enjoyed this game. I played more Clair Obscur. I played more Altars. I playing a little bit of everything. So there's too many games for me to ever be truly happy with how I manage my time. Because, I can always be playing more, but I always enjoy my time. So I'll say yeah. Huh. Do I feel my relationships bring out the best in me? So, relationships are a funny thing where I feel like it brings out all of me. The first few times in a relationship, I feel like I dealt with those situations, but I didn't really handle those situations, if that makes sense. I was very much in the moment. Like, yes, let me fix this problem. Let me do this problem. Let's work together. But it also, at that point, brings out the parts of me where I can't really explain why I act certain ways. And I come across as a bit too, I guess, possessive or aggressive at times. And then I don't come across as enough possessive or aggressive to some people. It's one of those weird things where I don't like how I act, so I try to lessen that, but then people tell me I should be more, and then people tell me I should be less. So it's one of those things where I feel like it brings out every portion of me. Have you allowed yourself to dream big without fearing failure? Well, yeah, I think I have. I think my general idea is if I just kind of dream big and I go for it, it doesn't really matter. Because like I said, if I don't win, it's not really a failure because I learned something about it. No. Do you believe you're worthy of unconditional love? No. Only unconditional love I believe I'm worthy of is from my mother. And even then, the condition was still a condition of being born her son. So it's kind of a factor where I'm like, no, not at all. There's always a condition. Are you proud of the way you respond to challenges? Yes, because I am the best at completely forgetting to do something, and then the challenge of having to do it all in one day appears. I do that in a heartbeat. I am the best when I'm panicking at things. That's what I do. That's why I'm the best at taking tests. Do you trust yourself to make difficult decisions? I do trust myself to make the difficult decisions after the fact, once something's happened. Because there's a few of them that are coming up that I will be making right after. But it's still part of the process of me where I have to give it time. But then once the time is over, I will make that difficult decision. Yeah, because it's not like a life or death situation, I feel like I can take my time to make the decision. But even in life or death decisions, I think I would be more often ready to make the hard ones that people would hate me for than a lot of people want to give credit for. Are you honest with yourself about the habits that you hold back? No. I hold back a lot of things, but I don't think I am consciously honest about it. And I think I hold myself back from doing a lot of things that I could do, should do, and maybe shouldn't at the same time. I do feel more inspired than I've ever been in my current life because I feel and I see the accomplishments growing. I see the amount of time I'm putting into the gym working. I see all of the people that are slowly finding their way into my life, and I'm enjoying every second of it. Even if it doesn't become like a super major macho thing, I'm enjoying every second of it. Are you willing to risk vulnerability to build closer connections? Well, yes. That's why I'm here. I'm here specifically to let the world know that mental health is important, even if I don't know how to do it. Even if I can only do it by playing games and shouting to the great ether. But it is. Do you want yourself to feel a full range of emotions without shame? No. I hide a lot of my emotions that I don't think I should show to people all the time. And I don't know if that's healthy, but I can't not do that because I know what I am. I'm a young black male who's quite tall now and slightly built, and so if I show any negative emotions, I could come across as violent or aggressive, or I could be seen in a negative light, and I'd rather not do that because that's the one thing that I fear. Have you contributed to creating the situations you often complain about? Probably. I'm not even gonna say no. I choose to do things that sometimes end up causing problems, but I also choose to do things that I think will fix those problems that people never see. I do. Do you find joy in small everyday moments of life? I do. I find a lot of joy in just random nonsense moments of my life because, surprise, I do things for the hell of it sometimes. If something looks extremely cool, I'll go check it out. If something scares me, I'm getting out of there. Because I don't need to be a hero to enjoy life. Are you afraid of expressing your deepest dreams to others? That is one thing that I don't do because my deepest dreams are dreams that I want to happen so very much, and I feel like if you tell people all of your dreams, some of them might not come true, so I have to keep some of them just hidden so that they do work. Have you accepted aspects of yourself that you once struggled to embrace? At this point, yes. I have struggled for a long time to realize that I can't do everything myself. I can't focus on stopping the flooding while holding up a wall while, keeping the dam still as low as like all these things that kind of like happen. You can't do all of it at once. I can't hotwire the car while stopping the dam from blowing up while plugging the holes in the wall so that we could all escape the death chamber all at once. I can't do all that. You need people for everything. Are you open to changing your mind when presented with new perspectives? Yeah, I'm okay with changing my mind. Because if you don't change your mind about things, then you're just rigid, and I don't like the idea of being rigid towards certain things. I like the idea of being like, fair. Cuz it's like this idea of, man, if all of a sudden I was pulled up into an alien UFO and they were like, "Yay, bro. Guess what? We built everything." Even if it's just, some teen aliens pulling a prank on me, my whole perspective would have been like, dang, the pyramids were built by aliens. It's like, yeah, right now my brain's like, no, they were built by slaves. But like, if an alien pulled up on me and said, yo, it was built here, and we did this, I'd be like, all right, fair. Do you feel a deep sense of gratitude for where you are in life? Yes. Yes, I do actually, because I feel like I've been given a really nice opportunity where I can enjoy the things that I enjoy and then share them with everyone else. Are you able to recognize when you're pushing yourself too hard? No. I get sick before I realize that I pushed myself too hard. If I'm doing things, I usually do them to the extreme. I won't even lie. And that causes me to get sick quite often. And my physical health isn't always of the best, but I do keep going because it's important to me. Oh yeah, once again, I do seek external validation more often than I wish I did. So yeah, buddy, you got me good with this one. Have you forgiven those who may have hurt you deeply? I have forgiven some of them, yes. I have forgiven a few of the people who have hurt me deeply over the course of my life. And I will continue to forgive the people who have hurt me. Because there's no point in holding on those many grudges. I just need to work through them myself. And I don't need them there to work through them. Do you have a clear sense of what happiness means to you personally? No. My happiness is more important to me in retrospect of what can I do? You know, what can I do to just get joy out of life, I guess? So I guess that would be what my happiness is, but I don't have a clear sense of what I can do each time for that. So no. Are you content with the memories you're creating in your life? Yes, actually. I've been creating so many weird different memories recently that like I'm actually quite happy with it. Like when I went to a natural light preserve recently, saw like 1 billion stars when I looked up, had a fire pit with my friends, and yeah, I got sad because I missed people, but like, and I'm sad that I couldn't bring someone special to me, but like, I'm still glad that I saw those moments. Do you often regret things you didn't say or do? Yes. If I didn't do some of the things that I did, I mean, if I did do things that I didn't do, I wouldn't be in the same situation as I am now. So I both regret it, but I'm also thankful for it because I currently am where I'm at because of everything that happened to me. And that's the best place I could be because there's only up from here. Are you more critical of yourself than others are of you? Oh yeah, apparently I can do amazing things or say amazing things or understand amazing things, but I don't see that at all. I don't see any of the things that people tell me that they see in me. But I understand that if they see amazing things in me, that I can't be all bad. So I have to keep trying to reveal those things to myself. Yes. Do you take time to celebrate your progress no matter how small? Yes. Yes, I do. Progress takes time. And I got time right now. Even though I don't have time, I have time. I take the time to watch what I do, to gain more experience, and to enjoy the things I have in life. And when something big happens, I celebrate it. When something small happens, I celebrate it. And let me tell you, the difference between big and small to me is so minuscule that doesn't matter. If I got a really nice rock, I'ma celebrate it. That might be small to some people, but I got a really nice rock. I get one more follower, that's a big celebration. Even though it's small to other people, it's a big celebration to me. Each person is important to me because it's someone who took the time out of their day to see me, to say something to me, to talk to me. Are you willing to let go of relationships that no longer serve you? Yes. And that is what I'm currently doing and having to figure out exactly where I stand to certain people, and those relationships do need to come to an end. Do you feel that your life aligns with your core values? At this current point in time, yeah. I feel like it's a no nonsense kind of bullshit that I enjoy. Cause yes, we get a little bit wacky, crazy, inflatable arm man here, but we also understand when it's time to get serious. And so my core values in life are do what needs to be done, do what you want to do. And that's what I've been doing. Do you allow yourself to be fully present with the people you love? No. That's the problem. I am currently working on that. And that's something that I have to continuously work on because it's not something that I was used to yet. It's something that I'm working on myself. Are you living a life that reflects what's most important to you? Yes, I'm living a life that reflects my do what you want mentality. Do what you want, do what you need to. I will always say that. And even in this idea of a channel, I like the idea of being completely unhinged, but having an air of class to yourself, if that makes sense. You have levels of what you do with different people. Do you believe that your current life path will lead you to fulfillment? I do, actually. If I continue down the path that I'm currently walking, which I probably won't, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I'm gonna stray somewhere and I'm gonna go do other things because I'm a gambling man. And it's more fun to see what's on the other side. Are you willing to take risks to pursue your dreams, even if they seem impractical? Yes. Yes, I am. The impracticality of it all doesn't matter. It's all about what I can do and what kind of nonsense I can kind of do. I just want to do things that I want to do. Have you forgiven yourself for times you may have hurt others? Yes. I think I've forgiven myself for some of the things I've done to others. I have hurt people in ways that I have not forgiven myself for just yet, and I will continue to work to forgive myself while also trying to make sure that if there's anything that I can do for those who I have hurt, to have them forgive me themselves, because one of the main ways for me to forgive myself is to know that they did not fall too hard from that thing. Whatever I did to hurt them, I want to make sure that I can propel them further up than how far I hampered them down. And if I can't do that for them, I want to make sure that they have the resources to do it themselves. Do you make choices that honor your true needs, not just your wants? Yes. And that's the bad part, because I don't always focus on wants, and even though that's what I want to do, I know that sometimes I need to focus on other things, such as school. Are you satisfied with the way you express love to those around you? I was very satisfied. Now I'm not as satisfied because I feel like I have to learn other people's love languages better. And when I learn those love languages, we can then compromise to work on a system that works for everybody. Do you feel secure enough to be your authentic self even if others disapprove? Currently online, yes. I feel amazing to be my authentic self right out in the open. The strangers can judge me, and that's alright. It ain't that bad, you know? If I have to be judged, I'm gonna take it like it ain't nothing, you know? But at the same time, I'll understand that I'm not for everybody. That's also what I also want people to know, is that I understand that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And that's okay with me. You don't have to like me or approve of everything I do. But as long as you respect the decisions that I make when I'm not hurting other people, then that's what matters. Are you able to recognize when something is no longer good for you? No. I had a crippling addiction to League of Legends that I still have, and just like a horrible relationship, I might go back to it. I'm playing later today. Do you trust yourself to make changes you need most? You know you need most. That is no most at the end of that. I'm adding things to his questions already. Oh god, brain. Stop tricking me into adding more things. I do not trust myself to make the changes I need most all the time, but I do trust it to happen sometimes. So I will say yes. Are you willing to move forward without closure in situations that lack it? Yes, that is what I meant before when I said I don't need them there to forgive them or to forgive myself if I can really happen it. If I do not get closure on a situation, I will eventually give up on seeking closure that way. Because I will get my own closure a different way, such as self-growth. Once I stop caring about something, it doesn't need the closure from the other person. Do you feel that you are on a journey of growth and learning? I do feel like I'm on the journey, but I do not know how far I am. I could literally just be 2 steps off the start line for it. But, I mean, as long as I'm walking the path, I don't see a problem with what I'm currently doing. Are you able to recognize when you are self-sabotaging? No. But that's the fun and a horrible part. It's like you know that this could be the worst thing that you're doing for yourself, but you don't know if it's the worst thing you're doing for yourself. It could be the best thing that you're doing for yourself, and so you have to keep going forward to see if anything good comes of it. And even if nothing good comes from it, you still had that experience. So to me, it's always like, yeah, I'm self-sabotaging, but it's okay because I'll learn something. Do you find it easy to accept compliments and praise? No. If someone tells me something is cool, I usually try to push it away, deflect that compliment or praise. Because, like, it's more of a thing where even if I accept it, my brain doesn't actually accept it. I will accept nonsense praise, especially about like games, about like how I'm good at something in a game. But then in reality, I will not assume I'm good at that game at all. So like, I make a joke every now and then about Dead by Daylight, how like, oh, I'll loop the killer for like 5 gens sometimes. And I don't think I've ever done a full 5 gen chase, of course, because that's a skill that I don't have. But like, I'll loop him better than my friend Joe would for sure. But I almost said his name, Joe for show, when I said Joe for sure. But God bless. I would loop him better than Joe would once or twice every now and then. I'd be like, yeah, Joe, you can't do it like me. And that is me, in a sense, joking about it. But even then, I still think that my skill level, even if it is slightly better than Joe's, I still feel like Joe has a better potential than me. And I still feel like the jokes don't mean anything to me as like an actual person, because I don't believe that he can't do it like me. Which is why, 2 seconds later, I'll be like, yeah, lead him on like a 3 gen chase. I believe in you. And I actually do mean that when I say that. And then they go down. I'm like, ooh. Or I'm like, yep, saw that coming. And I don't mean it in a negative light. I just realize that it's more of a funny way of responding to something. Because in my heart, I genuinely believe that my friends can do anything and I can do it because I've seen them pull off miraculous plays. And then I'm like, damn, that was cool. But I don't actually accept or believe any of the compliments or praise I get most of the time. Nope, weakness must be purged. Do you make an effort to understand and forgive yourself for your weakness? No, I'm going to be honest with that. I do not give myself leeway when it comes to weakness. And I understand that that's not right. And I have to work on that. But it's really hard because I was always growing up and strength was the most important part. And there's like so little to understand when it comes to like strength or weakness. Because what some people consider strengths, other people consider weakness. Are you willing to set boundaries if it disappoints others? Yes. If I can set a boundary now that will protect me, I will set that boundary now. Even if it doesn't make others happy. Do you believe you deserve a life filled with love, joy, and peace? I do, but I also believe that I deserve a life that has not equal, but still has some suffering, joy, and and then pain and healing. I feel like you need both sides of each coin, you know? Interesting. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down, homie. I'm not your homie, guy. I believe I've already gotten a pretty good idea of what we're working with here. I just want to ask you one last set of questions to make sure we're completely locked in before I give my analysis. You can expect the same kind of questions as before, with a bit more meat on the bone, if you will. Let's dive right in. Do you hide parts of yourself from others because you fear they wouldn't accept the real you? Yes, I do hide a few things from others. Is there someone from your past you still think about but pretend you don't? I do that quite often about someone in particular, yes. Do you truly believe you're deserving of the things you long for? No, I do not. Have you ever hurt someone you love simply because you were hurting yourself? Yes. Are you afraid of what might surface if you allowed yourself to be completely alone with your thoughts? Yeah, I do. Do you ever feel like you're faking happiness to avoid burdening others? Yes. Is there a part of you that still feels undeserving of love? So, yes. Have you ever sabotaged something good in your life out of fear it might end? Yes, I mean, to be honest, who hasn't? You cling to certain relationships because you're afraid of what life may look without them. I have clinged to many relationships that I shouldn't have clinged to, and I cling to ones that I don't think I should have clinged to. Are you avoiding any truths about yourself because they're too painful to confront? Yes. Do you ever worry that deep down you're not as good a person as you want to be? Of course. I feel like I could be better quite often, but I don't know if that's ever the truth. Is there something you want to say to someone but you feel you never could? Well, yes, because I don't want to say things to certain people and make them feel certain ways and act up. Do you stay busy to avoid reflecting on things you'd rather not face? All the time. If I'm working, I can't really think about it. Do you find yourself envying people who seem more confident or at peace? Yes. Especially at the gym. If I see you posing in the mirror and you're like rocking it, it doesn't really matter what you look at. I just feel like I want to be you because I take a picture in the gym and I hate it. Have you ever examined whether your excuses are actually just fears? They usually are. I'm not even gonna lie to you. My excuses usually come out of the idea of I don't want to do something because I fear what might happen if I do that. Is there something you wish you could change about yourself but don't know how? Yes, I do. We won't get into that one. Do you take time to reflect before blaming others for your frustrations? Yes, I do take time to reflect and think about things. And I do then at that point try to blame whoever my brain and heart both think are the culprit. Sometimes they agree, sometimes they don't. Are you still angry about something from your past that you can't let go of? Yes. And it just builds up unimaginably and it overwhelms me. You believe that if people knew your deepest insecurities, they would judge you. Yes, because at some point in life, everyone is judging everyone. Have you ever stayed in a situation that hurt you just because it was familiar and comforting? Yes. I definitely overstayed my welcome in a few relationships just because it felt nice feeling seen or being held. But I shouldn't have stayed in those relationships. Do you hold on to resentment because it's easier than confronting your pain? No, I hold on to resentment because people do not let me confront them about the pain. Are there parts of your identity you've compromised for the sake of others' acceptance? Yes. I'm not some super psycho sociopath or anything like that, but like, there are definitely parts of me that I've hidden away or like lessened so that I come across as a lot more agreeable to some of my friends. Especially when they say some stupid things and my brain's just like, why? Call them out on that. And then my mouth's like, no, I understand where you're coming from, but I don't. Do you compare yourself to others and feel like you fall short? All the time. If an ex shows up with someone too soon before after a relationship, my brain then always sits here and compares me and whoever they're with, and it becomes a whole thing, a whole shabaka where I self-sabotage any new things that I could up and because I'm still thinking about the previous thing. Have you ever resented someone else's happiness or success? I don't think I've ever resented their happiness or success because I don't hate people for when they succeed. I just want to be them. Are there things about yourself that you hide, even from the people closest to you? Yes. Do you feel like you rely on validation from others to feel good about yourself? Quite often, I do feel like I rely on their validation of situations and different problems in my life so that I can then at that point feel not so alone. Have you ever put others' needs before your own to the point where it hurt you? Yes. In my newest relationship, I have put other people's needs before my own, and it's caused a lot of rifts between the people I care about. And then it all ended up in failure anyways. But like I said before, I guess it's not really a failure because I learned something, and I'm on a different journey of healing. So I remember you try to suppress because it still brings you shame or regret? Yes. I think everyone has some memory that they keep in the other recesses of their mind in a vault. So that no one can then at that point bring it up to them. Do you ever feel that you have to earn love and care of others? Yes, because if I don't offer them something, I feel like they will just discard me. And if they discard me, then I feel hurt or whatever comes from that. I don't feel like anything is just given freely. Are you afraid to ask what you really want, fearing it might push people away? All the time, because when I ask, it gets denied a lot of the time. And so I just don't ask anymore. Do you sometimes feel like you're living a life you don't recognize or want? This one, I do not actually feel that, because currently I feel like my life is going in a direction that I'm pushing it in and that I really want to go. Is there a part of your personality you're ashamed of or try to hide? Yes. Which of the following colors resonates with you most at the very moment? Obsidian. At this precise fragment of time, which element do you feel closest to? Nether. If your soul were humming a single note right now, which one would it be? If the current state of your mind could be translated into a landscape, which would it be? Ooh. Metaphorically, which of these visuals resonates most with you at this present moment? A garden growing in the ruins of something once sacred, a candle burning at both ends in a room with no windows, a feather caught in a thunderstorm, light but powerless, an unopened letter slowly yellowing on the forgotten desk, a bridge built halfway across a chasm waiting idly, a clock with no hands marked in time by shadows and intuition. Do you avoid certain people or places because they bring up difficult memories? Yes. Not places, more like discords, but you know, it's all good. Have you made decisions that made you unhappy because you wanted to please others? Yes. Are you afraid of that who you are isn't enough for the people you love? All the time. You stay silent about things that truly matter to you to keep the peace? Of course. There's no point in speaking up about it if people aren't going to understand you. Have you ever settled for less than you deserve because it felt safe? Once or twice I have settled for something. Do you feel resentment towards someone and haven't told them about how you truly feel? No, I'm pretty open about things whenever I tell people things. I'm pretty open when I dislike you. I tell you I don't like you. If I like you, I hang out with you. If I don't, I don't. Do you struggle to accept praise because you don't believe it's truly deserved? Yes, because it's not really true most of the time. It's just flowery words. Is there a relationship in your life that drains you emotionally but you feel guilty letting go of? Not anymore. Well, actually, there's a few. Do you feel like you need to pretend to be strong even when you're not? Yes, because if I'm not the rock, then who will be? Are you afraid of letting people see you struggle? Yes, because when they see you struggle, if they're not a friend, they'll kick you down. And that is one of the things I don't want to see. I don't want to see anyone who I thought was my friend kicking me down any more than what has already happened. Do you sometimes feel ashamed of the things you dream about or wish for? No. I think those dreams are beautiful and I should continue to work towards them. Have you held on to a grudge because it feels like you're the only power in a painful situation? Yes, that has been the case for a few situations where I hold on to the grudge because it is the only thing that is mine that I can control. You feel like you're living a life more focused on survival than fulfillment? Not anymore. I am feeling like I am on the path of fulfillment. Is there someone you feel need to forgive, but you can't bring yourself to do it? Yes, there's quite a few people I feel like I need to forgive, but I can't do it. You ever fear that your deepest fears or insecurities might be true? All the time. Any of my insecurities, any of my fears, those are things that constantly haunt me, and that's why I'm literally here. Because I'm trying to break some of those insecurities and fears. Because for one, I absolutely despise my voice. And people have told me they like my voice, but I don't hear it that way, I guess, how they hear it. I hear it as this annoying, like, grating sound all the time. Are you afraid that life you're living isn't truly your own? No, I own this life. It was made for me, and it was made through all of my struggles. Have you ever wished you could start over completely and become someone else? Well, that one, yes. I have wished to start over, mostly because if I could start over, I would do things differently. So I have wished for that. Do you worry that you're not leaving the kind of legacy you want to be remembered by? Ooh, yes. Don't even get me started on the idea of a legacy. Legacies are something that I want to build and shape, but I can't build or shape those without, I guess, a staple that I have, something that is mine. Like if I had a house or like something like that, I could start building a legacy. All right, I think we're done here. After learning so much about you based on the answers you provided, I can guarantee you one thing and one thing only. That you a bitch, bro. Nah, but it's really important to care about your mental health. I'm about to drop some truth bombs on you, whether you like what I have to say or not. Oh. They're changing scenery for this one. That's actually nice. The voice of reason. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Open your mind, heart, soul, and listen well. My analysis is as follows. Look, I'm not going to tiptoe around the truth here. You've been carrying this weight for so long, you've practically forgotten what it feels like to walk without 1,000 pounds on your back. I see you drowning in the memories of what went wrong, what you missed out on, and the people who screwed you over. The chances you never took because you were too damn scared to fail. Yeah, I told you I wasn't scared to fail, you bastard. You can't call me out on my truth. And I get it, you feel robbed of something. Maybe your trust, maybe your self-esteem, your belief that life could be beautiful without all this pain. Oi, don't you go that route. You need pain and suffering to understand. Sometimes it feels like you're stuck in a cycle of anger and regret, and it's driving you insane. But you need to listen to me. You are not doomed. Your past might be messy, but it's not a life sentence. Every scar you've got, every bruise on your heart, that's evidence that you survived. And you kept going when life sucker punched you in the gut. Stop letting the world convince you that you're unworthy. You're not some broken toy collecting dust on a shelf. You're a human being with a soul that feels deeply and that's powerful as hell. Sometimes you push people away because it's easier to reject them first than risk being hurt again. But in doing that, you're blocking out the very love and connection you crave. That's gotta stop. Being vulnerable isn't a death sentence, it's a birthplace of real growth. You keep beating yourself up for every mistake, acting like you're the only one who's ever messed up. Newsflash. Everyone's got skeletons in their closet. Everyone's walked through some shit. The question is, do you let it bury you or do you rise above it? Maybe no one's told you this lately, but I'm proud of you. Yes, proud. You've kept going even when everything in you screamed to give up. You've struggled. You've stumbled, but you haven't surrendered, and that counts for a lot. And you know what else? You deserve to be happy. Damn it, you deserve forgiveness, especially from yourself. You deserve to dream big, love fiercely, and find the kind of peace that warms you from the inside out. So here's the truth. The world is tough, but you are tougher. You have more grit, more heart, and more soul than you give yourself credit for. And it's about time you realize that. Nobody else can write the ending to your story but you. You're not a lost cause. You're not past your prime. You're not irreparably broken. You're just a human being with a hell of a lot living left to do, and that's something to celebrate. So promise me this, don't give up on yourself, hold your head high, keep fighting for the life you want, and never forget how far you've already come. Because believe me, there's a light at the end of this tunnel, and it's shining just for you. You're enough, always have been, always will be. And if no one else has told you lately, I'm telling you now, I love you, and I'm rooting for you. Every single step of the way. One more thing. Your gifted word is hope. Hang on to this word. It will make sense by the end of this session. Whether you agree with my words or not, just know that my analysis is only half of the journey, and perhaps not even the most meaningful part of the journey as a whole. The questions that you ask yourself in life are often far more telling than the answers. The journey is often far more rewarding than the destination, and you, the person who understands you better than anyone ever could, is you. I hope this experience helps you moving forward, and I hope you're able to see the positive and use it to your advantage. You're on your own from here, and your destiny rests in your incredibly capable hands. And here's a message from the developers. Thank you so much for taking the time to play the test reality check. We really hope you enjoyed your experience. Much like many of our other experiences, this game can replay in the future to get a different result. Feel free to play again and revisit the test after time has passed and see what fantastic things await you. As we do with all our games, we would like to offer you an opportunity to participate in future games. We'd also like to do something very unique and special with the gifted word you've been given. That's different from our previous projects, so keep reading. Many of the characters seen in our games are actually names of players or names chosen by players from previous titles. I know, because I've chosen a few of them. If you wish to be part of upcoming titles and you have your name selected in the future game, please leave a comment for us with your gifted word included. But that's not all. We'll also be selecting players new and old based on their gifted words to be part of something really special that we're working on, completely separate from naming characters. Participation is completely optional, so if you do not wish to be in a game or choose the name of your character appear in this title, then simply leave your gifted word out of your comments and we will not select you. We read in each and every comment we get on all our titles, so none are missed. We also use these comments to help develop future titles such as our big project Chasing Demons, which you can now wishlist on Steam. If you're new to our titles, then just know that each person is given a word unique to them from each of our games, which they will then be able to combine in Chasing Demons to create a custom tailored gaming experience specific to each individual. Which means that what appears in your playthrough of Chasing Demons may not appear in your friend's experience when they play, ensuring that each player gets their own unique version of the game. Once again, thank you all so much for your support, and we hope to see you again in the next one. Until next time, treat each other with kindness, stay positive, and always remember, it might be stormy now, but it can't rain forever. Alright. And thank you for watching. It's another Mental Health Monday, as always. So, I will always tell you to take care of yourself, care about everyone else, and try to be kind. But that is all for me. So please, take care, stay sassy, and keep it classy. Goodbye.